Welcome back to another video of mine. Today I'm going to go over the usage of my Xantrex inverter charger. I'm going to come back to the end of the clip and show you there's some quirks with this little this charger that goes on it. And I'll show you the issue, but let me jump ahead. Good morning. I'm going to demonstrate how I use the inverter in the morning. Before I get started, let's take a peek outside. And this is the view from my door. Let's see how the batteries are overnight. Now this is the one battery. I do have two batteries. You notice it's at 72%. Right now there must be some solar coming in because I'm getting +1. So this battery, this is the status of one battery. Because I have two, this is ×2. So technically I have 2 amps coming in, one to each battery. I'm only remotely Bluetooth into one battery. Let's see what we have. Well, that makes sense because the solar says I have about 4 amps coming in. I have items running in here, that's probably why. Let's go ahead and make some coffee. So we'll turn the inverter on. Right now you can see I'm dry camping, so the inverter is dead. We'll turn the inverter on. I'm going to make some coffee, so I'm going to fill the water here. Now let's jump over to the battery here. Now you'll see the red. You see how it's 69 amps, 70 amps, 871 watts. So again, you have to multiply that by 2, so you're running about 1700 and some watts just for this. And the only reason I can do that is because I have the Lithium batteries, 250 amps. I wish I had more, but it does let me do things like this. I wouldn't be able to do that with the plain old 6-volt batteries. Now let's go to see how much power ultimately that coffee took. Looks like we're still at 71%. Not bad. With the inverter on, I also have in this cabinet here, I have the Starlink on. The Starlink is on this switch back here, and this is the switch for the TV. That way, if I ever want to shut off the power to the Starlink, I can do it manually with that lighted switch instead of shutting off the inverter. And on the back side of the TV, this is where I have the Starlink router mounted here. I have it with some VHB tape down at the bottom, and then this the zip ties up on the top. I'm going to make some breakfast, so I'll show you what I do. Okay, we're going to make some pancakes and breakfast burritos this morning. Let's get some items here ready. Okay, let's grab the stuff from the refrigerator. What do we need here? Some bacon, some cheese, and some onions in there. Some tortillas. I think that's it. I guess I could put some cherry tomatoes in there, and some butter here. Okay. Start out with the pancake batter first. Okay, we got some pancake batter here. We grab a spoon and a whisk here. See how everything is nice and organized in here? Okay. We'll do some pancake mix, and looks like I'm gonna get a little helper here. I'm going to put it on number, I like to use number 7. I'll put it on 8 just to get it warmed up faster. So we're going to use the induction burner and get that warmed up so we can warm up some tortillas here. Let's put a tortilla in there. It's going to take a little while to warm up. So let's chop some bacon. With the induction on, I'd like to show you how much power that induction is taking. So again, this is half the battery, so we have basically 602 watts. Double that, about 1200 watts. Now I have other things running in the background like the Starlink and some lights, but this gives you an approximation. You see we're down to 61%. We don't have much sun at all coming in right now. Okay, let's go ahead and make the pancakes first. So we have it on 7. We're just making 2 pancakes. Need to grab a spatula here. We'll grab a wooden spatula here. I think everyone knows how to make pancakes, but that's one nice thing about this induction range. The temperature control is very consistent and even, so it's really easy to make pancakes. And let's flip this pancake here. Ah, perfect. Let's see how this pancake is doing. Not bad. I think one more flip and it'll be ready to go. Okay, this is good to go. And while that's going to go, let's open this here. Let's get some spices here. If you have, I don't know if you've seen my magnetic spice rack, but there's my magnetic spice rack here. We'll set it down. We'll bring everything down here. Let's put some little bit of olive oil in here. And of course, need to put some. This butter is for the pancake. This butter is for the breakfast burrito. We'll add some ingredients in here. Let's start off with the onions. Get those cooking right away. So we can get the onions and bacon in there cooking. Use part of that baking grease and put the tomatoes in last. Well, I hope you enjoyed my breakfast session here. Not like my usual videos, but this is a DIY how to make breakfast with your inverter and your induction. And let's do a final, let's see what the battery status is at again. you can use your inverter. We are down to 61%. Now today it doesn't look like it's going to be the most sunny day, and likely the solar will not charge up my batteries all the way. We do use a lot of power in this RV, so we might have to supplement it with the generator. We shall see. Alright, well thanks for joining me on this video, and we'll see you on the next video. Okay, well I really hope you enjoyed that video. You know, it's not a common DIY video, and if you do enjoy it, please make a comment and maybe I'll do some more in the future. Let me start out from the very beginning here. Now your Xantrex inverter charger, now this is just the remote panel. The actual inverter sits somewhere else. When I'm plugged into shore power right now, so when your shore power is on and your generator is running, or either or, this light is always going to be on. So if let's just click it and turn it on. Right now you can see the battery is in charge mode. It's in float mode. And no matter what, if you're actually plugged into shore power or running on generator, this will be on all the time. You know, the panel will time out and it'll be blank like that you saw, but you'll see this little green light. Now when you disconnect your power, shore power, or shut off your generator, everything will be off. This green light will be off at the same time. And the only way to turn it on is you actually have to hit this button here. And that's how you actually turn your inverter on. So when you're actually inverting, which means you're basically turning your batteries into 110 power so your outlets work, you will have to turn this button on. Now when you're actually plugged in, this button has zero function. If you leave it on the on position and you unplug from the shore power or the generator, all your outlets will remain alive. This panel will stay on. Hopefully that makes sense. Before I forget, let me show you the quirks of this inverter charger. Now, the default settings, or their settings, you'll have to go through the menu, but I'm just going to give you a quick shortcut. On this inverter charger, when it is actually charging, whether it's on shore power or generator and during the day, it may or may not happen to you, but the things that I've noticed is I have mine inverter charger, or the charger profile in here when you go to the menu settings, set for my lithium batteries. So it's a default lithium battery, and one thing I noticed with that is that when I charge my batteries using the generator, I hear my generator surging slightly up and down. And for a while it didn't mean anything to me, but if you've seen my cooking video here a short while before and you see my battery monitor, I noticed that my battery monitor, the power charging, I call it the wattage going in, would surge up and down just like what the generator sounded like. And what I discovered was that the charger portion of this inverter, it does not like running the solar and the charging profile of the inverter in the lithium setting. So if I disconnect my solar panels, my generator would run at full speed or proper speed and put in all the wattage into my batteries. But soon as I connected my solar panels back, same thing, my generator would surge up and down, and the wattage going into the power, or the charging going back into my batteries, would surge up and down. So if you can imagine, if it was 1200 watts charging in, I see 1200 watts and then it bounced back down to zero, 1200 watts back down to zero. And what I discovered was that it took a long time to charge the batteries. But as long as I remove the solar panels from the system, the charger on this inverter charger would charge perfectly. I didn't really like that, because what I discovered was that when I run the generator, which I hate doing, and charging the batteries, it basically took almost double the time that it should have to charge the batteries. And the one thing I did, I changed the profile setting in here. Instead of the default lithium setting on here, I changed it to, there's a custom setting, and I changed it to the voltage that, now my battery manufacturer is Lithionics, but I changed the charging profile to a custom and followed Lithionics. And once I did that, my surging went away. My generator ran fine, and it didn't impact anything with the solar. So that's what I did. Now, this may be isolated to only me, I'm not sure. but something you may want to monitor on your end. And it may be a quirk, and maybe it's just a software update that it needs. I'm not sure, but all I did was change it to custom and it worked for me. Well, anyways, pretty long-winded video. I hope you enjoyed the little cooking segment. Like I said, not something I do all the time, but maybe I'll show you some of that. Maybe I'll show you a video where I do, breakfast, lunch, dinner, the whole works on how we use our RV. I didn't want to just sit in our driveway all the time and show you, all the modifications. I know people like them, but I also want to show you that we do heavily enjoy using the RV. Even though I pick on Winnebago quite a bit, we use this RV as much as we can, and we really enjoy it. This floor plan is about as best as it can get for an RV this size. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and we will see you on the next video. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. I know that really helps, so if you can hit the thumbs up before you move on, please hit the thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.